watch, but it's almost like you can't talk about that. Why not?
Right. And we know that they have, they protected themselves, they shielded themselves, from that. But let's hear what you got Stephen A. Smith. Let's hear what he said, about this, so we can expound a little bit more on this. And you gotta remember, people like, this real quick, people like Stephen A. Smith, since he commands so much respect and he's on one of the big networks, he kind of represents us to a certain extent.
He thinks he does.
He thinks he does, and it does for certain people, because the reason why I say he represents us is because people think that we all think like that when they see one person, just like Brother Kenyatta was saying, when they see one negative rapper or somebody dressing all crazy, they think all of us is like that. So when Stephen A. Smith, portrays these sentiments on his channel, they think that all of us think this way. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, roll that tape.
I sit on this show on many, many occasions, and I find myself to be incredibly objective. I get annoyed at people who accuse me of being a LeBron hater, because I got news for you. I'm going to say something that people don't realize. I love LeBron James. I think he's a good man. I think he's an incredible role model, and I hope he and his family, if I ever hope that he was watching this show, I hope it's right now because of what I'm about to say to him. His children, his wife, everybody, his family members, his friends. I got mad love for LeBron James and the iconic figure that he is, and the manner in which he has represented himself. It's just astronomical. To come into the league at age 17, to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, for the expectations to be leaped on his shoulders, and for him, the only thing in his career that has created a stain is the decision. I mean, it is as close to perfection as it gets when it comes to handling. I got mad love for this brother. He is a special, special man. But I preface my comments by saying that because I want him to listen to what I'm about to say. I'm starting to get worried about LeBron James. And here's why. I just played that sound for y'all from the shop. Just this Friday night, I was at that game in LA. They played New Orleans. And it's the aftermath of the Anthony Davis brouhaha, whether he's coming to LA or not. What does LeBron James say to the reporter? Ask me who would I want to play with, blah, 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 Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kemba Walker, all of these guys. Of course, I want to play with star, blah, blah, blah. And he said, quote, they ain't going to control me. I'm going to say what I want to say. That's his mentality. He has gotten to a point where obviously because of his wealth, his riches, his fame, and everything like that, he is coming across as an individual who believes he can say whatever it is that he wants to say. I applaud it. I admire it. He's in a position most, if not every black man I've ever known, wishes they were in. But in the process of that, let's be clear, you're going to have people that are going to come at you with being mission-minded about the business of humbling you, because there is nothing most folks, in terms of the black community, Max, and what we believe, there is nothing that most folks fear nor detest than a black man who comes across as arrogant enough to believe that he can say what he wants to say, when he wants to say it, and how he wants to say it. I admire it. I'm not knocking it. I'm simply saying he might want to be careful. See that coming, because here's where the Jewish community comes in.
I'm going to stop it right there, oh God.
Yeah, enough.
Black men wish to be in a position where they could say what they want. That's what he said.
Yeah.
LeBron James is he's starting to worry Stephen A. Smith. Oh God, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I think it's crazy, man. First and foremost, that should be that's true freedom. Being able to, express yourself freely, being able to own your land, being able to be free, not forced to do anything you don't want to do. So when somebody like Stephen A. Smith, once again, thinks that he's speaking for us, I think that is wrong. I think that he's misrepresenting us, because as you play the clip, you have this guy, Max Kellerman, who comes out and makes reference to Muhammad Ali. And that's just one. But Muhammad Ali, that he was one person that always was, spoke his mind. And whether people, agreed with him or not, they admired that about him, that he was willing, to be a man and let his nuts hang and just speak his mind and say what he wants to say. If something's wrong, say it's wrong. When and it's hard because it's like, we could say LeBron, but he's more independent. But let's just talk about Stephen A. Smith. You got a guy who not doing it independently, sitting up under another man's company. So obviously he can't say what he wants. So I don't expect him to say anything different, because he knows that if he steps outside the box, that, you know, them people that made him a millionaire, the ESPNs and the whatever, the Inquirers, are going to per se crack the whip on his back and say, no, you can't say nothing like that. But when you got true independence and you a man, you know that you can say what you want to say. That, I mean, that's supposed to be in the Constitution, freedom of speech. So for him to imply that, you know, he needs to be careful, watch out, I think it's sad, man. I don't want to call him what I want to call him. I think it's sad.
And I think this is why people call him what you want to call him, but you're not going to call him amongst our community. And this is why he gets a lot of the criticism, because of things like this. You think about the wordage in which he's using. Now, we've been sitting here and we've always talked about aspiring to own and free ownership and things like that forever. But the multi-masses, they look at the big media networks and things like that. ESPN has 4.3 million subscribers on YouTube. This video alone, this came out a couple days ago, has 1.2 million views, right? Mm-hmm. So when the average household viewer looks at their mainstream media and their sports, and they see this black man sitting there, this is their representation subconsciously of all of us. It just is what it is, especially when it comes to young Johnny sitting there on Christmas Eve, can't wait to open his gifts, just wanting to watch some sports. This is a black man. This is Stephen A. Smith, is what I watch. Mm-hmm. So when you hear things like, I'm really worried about LeBron James because he's now beginning to get to the point where he thinks his money allows him to be able to say what he wants, like as though black men aren't allowed to say what they want anyway. Right. You're not allowed to do that. I don't care that you're a man, period. You're, as a black man, not allowed to do this in America. You should know better, LeBron. I'm starting to worry that you don't know any better, LeBron. People should wish, not aspire, not aspire to be free to say what they want. All black men wish. Mm-hmm. Wish and hope. Hope is nothing but a lead down to hopelessness. That is no way or no lead or no open door to get to any situation. We wishing. That's like us sitting in church on Sunday, wishing we get to heaven, hoping we get somewhere without putting any action toward it. So you saying every black man is wishing and every black man is not aspiring to be able to say what they want? No, us real black men are saying what the fuck we want to say. Stop putting that bullshit out there for people to think that we wishing to say what we want when we out here saying it anyway. You should say what you want to say, but you can't because you're afraid that the second you do, they're going to take something from you that you so desperately need, the dollar.
And that's why we can always, criticize him of when the situation, you're like, man, we need somebody just to speak for us. You can find him cooning. You're guaranteed to find Stephen A. Smith cooning his ass off.
And it's a shame because we like him.
Yeah, we love him. Grew up on him.
Philadelphia Inquirer.
Yeah.
Watched him on, quite frankly, when he started out on ESPN 2. We sat there and read his information when we couldn't get it on Google or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Really rode for this dude because he was us. When we watched the mainstream media, it didn't have avenues like this to be able to go. When we would sit back, even though I'm not a Eagles fan or watch, sit in this area, this is what we saw. So when we listened to him, it was like, yo, yeah, we resonate with him. He's speaking for us, especially talking on Iverson and things like that and the things he was going through. Yeah, he spoke for us. But it seemed like the higher and the more ascending he got, the higher that dollar amount went and the more watered down Stephen A. Smith became. And it's a shame because he could really go in and do a justice for our people. You sit the way he sits there and he slangs and he talks and he almost talks and makes you feel like you're sitting in the living room of a New Yorker, of a black man as a white guy. Like, okay, yeah, this is how they get down, word. And then that
passive aggressive ass bull. And then my man, which Max Kellerman, which I'm not mistaken, he's a Jewish, American, just kind of told him like, nah, that's not how we get down.
Let's play the clip. I got it up.
Yeah. Play that clip.
Let's do it.
Hear that.
Acknowledging that may be different from reality. And I'm here to tell you it is very different from reality. Okay. But it's okay for you to express that perception so long as it's coming from a good place. And now it as you would say, sparks a dialogue and enlightens, rather than feel that you can't make a comment about someone or something or some group. Because if you don't express the idea perfectly, or if your perception is incorrect, or if somehow you're not perfectly articulate about it, now you're in trouble. This is what LeBron is facing right now. I'm going to address your point in a second. Sure. First of all, I disagree that LeBron should be careful. Muhammad Ali sacrificed a whole lot, and he was arrogant as could be. And he came along at a time when this country was not ready for it. And he sacrificed years of his career, and he was reviled early on and everything. But because he had the courage of his convictions, he, among other things, he wound up as the most celebrated athlete in the history of planet Earth. The planet Earth knows Muhammad Ali, knows the name more than any other athlete, what he stood for. And so to make change like that, to have that kind of legacy, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Okay. To do the inconvenient thing. I think LeBron James, though he should be, just give me a second because this is, that LeBron James, I know what you mean about be careful, your life could be made more difficult. It's okay. His life maybe at times can be more difficult in order for him to lead, even if that means expressing himself imperfectly.
Think about that, man.
I mean, you know, I don't want to, you know, I hate to take one example and use it against a whole, you know, group, but you see, you know, simply why, you know, certain, you can always, people can say, you know, oh, these people are always doing this, and these one group of people, you know, were progressive about themselves and took responsibility, you know, for their condition and got themselves out of it. You know, you can kind of see the difference in the mindset. You know what I mean? So, you know, not to say that it applies to everybody, but you know, I 100% agree with what, you know, what Max Kellerman said there. 100% agree.
It's just a shame on the mainstream media. We got to see someone getting checked when he should have been saying it his damn self. And we'll just keep it like that.
Yeah. There's nothing really much to say. I heard it. You know, you pretty much heard it all. But definitely remember, you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and SamAnt going in today on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you can listen to podcasts. We are there. Let's talk about this one, man. The Africa Bambaataa situation.